Hi everyone, today we're going to make pakoras. It's a very easy rainy day snack that you can make at home. So we start off with some thinly sliced red onion. Throw in there some chopped green chilies. These are not the overly hot ones. More flavor, less heat. I like that. And then throw in some coarsely chopped coriander. Lovely herby zing to it. And then of course you can throw in a number of vegetables in there depending on your preference. Today I'm throwing in some fresh spinach leaves. These add a very lovely crispy edge to it, and I really like the flavor and the texture there. To the spinach leaves I'm going to add in some whole coriander seeds and just coarsely crush them using my hands to release its aroma. Lovely flavor these things add, and a nice crunchy in there as well. There we go, and then to that mix we're adding turmeric, chili and salt. So that goes straight in there as well. Half a teaspoon of turmeric, chili to taste, and about a teaspoon of salt. And now what I'm adding in there is chickpea flour. Pretty easy to get. It's called besan. You can find it at most grocery stores these days. But that's just chickpeas ground into a flour. So we're going to toss that through, toss the vegetables through there. Mix it nicely, and then we're going to be adding a little bit of water to that and just mixing that through and making a thickish batter out of that. So common mistake that people make is adding too much water. So we're going to do that slowly and in stages. So you'll see I've put a little bit in there. It seems to be not a lot, so we're going to add a bit more. And of course the vegetables release some liquid as well, particularly as the salt hits them, so just be careful. Keep mixing that through. You're not kneading that, you're just gently mixing that. We don't want to break up those spinach leaves or bruise them too much. It's just a gentle mix. Perhaps looks rougher than it is, but it's just literally mixing, not kneading. This is not a dough, more like a paste. A batter actually. So there we go, a bit more water. Mixing that through again. You can see it's coming together quite nicely now. All the different vegetables combined, the water being mixed through. And once this is done, we're going to let it sit for probably 10 minutes or so, and you'll see that our chickpea flour will absorb the water. It'll become a little bit settled, and that's a nice batter consistency. So there we have it. You can of course use a spoon or a spatula or whatever you like to mix that through. Just getting the old hands in there. And there we go. That's after it's been resting for 10 odd minutes. And then don't feel too precious about the shapes there. The trick is just to get it into some oil that's been preheated. So I've got a little wok type instrument there, and then I've got some hot oil in there. So in go the pakoras, and we're just going to deep fry them. So that's where it becomes a little bit less healthy, this dish. But we've got some sunflower oil there. I think if you drain it, then these ones turned out not too oily at all. Quite a welcome snack. So of course you don't want to overcrowd your frying utensil. You don't want to have them sticking to each other. But you'll see that once they hit the oil, they get cooked and crispy relatively quickly, and then they don't really stick to each other. So there you go. There's our first batch. I did turn down the heat a little bit for subsequent batches, just to cook them over a slightly lower heat, and then they became even crispier. But that's really a bit of a trial and error type process. See how you like it. I prefer mine pretty crispy. If you like them a bit more moist, then that's also perfectly fine. So after about 2 to 3 minutes of frying, you'll see that they've gotten a very, very nice golden color, beautiful crispy texture. And just take them out, drain the oil, use a little slotted spoon like that. So drain the oil onto a paper towel, just let it rest for a minute or so, let that oil drain onto the paper towel, and then enjoy.